Hey guys, I do need to make an update and then go to sleep because this is a lot of work. Mostly a lot of work is to make a video as well, but throughout this month I have made a lot of progress towards discovering compute shaders in Unity, which means that I've just gained access to GPU, which is 200 times more powerful, seemingly, than CPU, maybe even more powerful. Maybe even more than 200 times more powerful. Because I was thinking, I can barely draw a texture on full resolution every single frame. I can barely draw a quarter of a texture. So what's up with that? And then I discovered shaders. Like, I was always scratching my head when I looked at shaders. They are doing some insane things. And then I realized that, well, there is an actual way to access shaders and to basically script your own shader. This is what I did. Before that, let's look at my arch nemesis, the voxels. If I wanted to create this plane, which is basically 300 voxels, if I wanted to create one, it takes at least half a second. And half a second is ridiculous. Half a second already breaks the immersion. The game is completely broken. And there's no way to go around this. There's just no way. You want to disable shadows. You want to make it out of, less triangles or whatever. I don't want to make it out of less triangles. But yes, if I implemented a shader, it could do it with less triangles, and it could still draw a nice circle, right? Like, the shaders would save my ass if I wanted to use voxels somehow. But that's a lot of voxels. And I still intended to use like items and all these things made out of possibly quite a lot of voxels. And Unity doesn't like that. At least Unity doesn't like that at all. It really punishes you for even trying to do these things. And compute shaders gave me the opportunity to come back to a concept that I already touched, maybe even done like a quarter of a video about it. But wait, is this running? Oh wait, I'm looking at a scene view. This is the game view, right? So I want to show you the full screen of all these 25,000 points. Granted, it's a really low resolution. It's 500 by 329. So that is really low resolution. But I don't care about graphics. I care about the data that I'm able to display. And that's a lot of data, right? That is cool. I can probably do 100,000 points without much problem. Obviously, this laptop can't handle too much either, and I don't really need much. Like, it already covers the entire screen, and you can already do quite a lot with it. However, there's a huge limitation when it comes to points of data. It is animation. This is a cube made out of 300 points, which has to be updated every single frame. And it creates lag spikes. This is 25,000 point cube, and it barely pushes frames per second to go down to 50 frames per second. Right, that's 40 and 50 frames per second that I'm operating with this. These little guys can make lag spikes. So I'm not sure how I'll optimize that. I'm not sure what the future of this engine will look like when I deal with animation. But I'm really excited that I can actually explore this. At least explore. I'm really not excited about polygons because they are way more complex than just points of data. And regardless of not having shadows or other stuff, I would be totally happy just using sprites, but sprites are also trash because you cannot actually use them properly in a 3D space, while these little guys can be used as sprites in a 3D space and look quite nice and create all kinds of shapes, not just simple sprites. It depends, right? And at the same time, the problem with sprites is that you cannot actually split the sprite. If I can split, like, what you're seeing here is the most simplest animation ever. It's just points of data moving, but I could split these points of data in every single direction. I can do whatever I want. These points can go whatever they want. It's just like particles, right? So if I optimize animation like that, where a lot of points of data can just move around freely, that would be a big deal in terms of how the game would look like, how the game would feel, because all of a sudden a lot of flexible parts are open for you to do whatever you want with them. So that's pretty cool. I also encourage you guys to check out something like Voxel Quest, because that is a huge inspiration to where I perhaps started doing this research and questioning how is it even possible. And yet I discovered something incredible. It's like a dream come true that I'm able to do this in Unity. And I'm able to keep, pushing forward my engine. I did a few things with voxels, but I can easily scrap those scripts and apply them to the points of data because they basically operate the same way. So I didn't really lost anything. It just was really tough to work with voxels, and I cannot really work with them without the editor. It's kind of weird. But when I'm using points of data, I can just use either the code or what I'm seeing on a 3D spaces. It seems a lot easier. It's just so much easier. So we'll see what the future holds. I definitely suspect to make a lot of updates because I'm pretty excited, and there's just so many little things you can just play with at the moment. Like, there's so many points of data you can just play with instead of having 200 points of data, which you can hardly even instantiate. It's so annoying. And every single time you modify... let's not get into that. Fuck you, voxels. You ruined my life, but I found another solution to this. Alright, guys. I hope you are excited as I am. Let's see what I can do with this. Bye-bye.